Hey, what's up, y'all? It's popping in. Steve Boss reacts to this video by Tub. It's titled OnlyFans Girls Who Became Horrible Criminals. Oop. So the OnlyFans girls is out here clapping people because they getting clapped online. So this is a defense mechanism because they want revenge because they getting clapped. So they're like, I'm about to clap other people. I see what's going on here. Anyway, let's hop to the video.
In February of 2023, OnlyFans saw approximately 1 billion monthly visits from users worldwide. The website launched in 2016 and is a social and video platform that allows creators to monetize their content via paid subscriptions and tips. In recent years, the London-based platform has become increasingly popular for hosting adult content. Though today, we'll be focusing on the darker side of the site. Welcome to OnlyFans Girls Who Became Horrible Criminals. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Different room. This is scary. Yeah, like I said in my last video, moved out of my mom's house. Thank you guys once again. Give me that opportunity. I know it's gonna take some time to get used to, believe me. But yeah, we got the YouTube achievements up there. Here, I'll show you guys. Y'all see that?
But last time I saw this room, it wasn't looking like
this.
Got
Danny in the background like always. I mean, as time goes on, I guess I'm gonna be adding more stuff to my room. But I'm gonna get a different light though, because I feel like this light is shining downwards, so you see like a shadow on my neck. But anyway, we're back. We're finally back, man. I'm so happy to do these regular videos. Took some time off. The whole moving process was crazy. But very quickly, I'm gonna give you guys some announcements, really quick. So the last restocks of ear candy CDs.
Period. Y'all got support.
Courtney Clenny. When it comes to OnlyFans models committing a crime, one of the most prominent cases is that of Courtney Clenny, aka Courtney Taylor. The case contains horrific details about how a tumultuous relationship ended with Clenny facing possible life in prison in an incident that occurred on
I do know her. I was like, wait, is this the one who killed the black dude? And it is.
Between 4:43 p.m. and 4:56 p.m., Clenny, aged 26 at the time, is alleged to have stabbed her boyfriend, 27-year-old cryptocurrency investor Christian Toby Obumseli, to death. The knife, which she initially claimed to have thrown from 10 feet away, penetrated Obumseli's chest right above where he had a tattoo of her name. The crime occurred at the lovers' Miami apartment, where they had just moved in at the start of 2022. Despite being new to the residence, the police had already visited them twice due to the neighbors raising domestic disturbance complaints. A series of images of the crime scene, released in November 2022 by Miami-Dade prosecutors, revealed gory details of the incident. Clenny is seen donning blood-drenched sweatpants, while also being covered in blood on her hands, feet, and part of her nightgown. The images also show some love letters from Obumseli to Clenny. It seemed he loved her a lot, given that one of the letters starts with, "You're the sweetest and most annoying woman I know." The letter then proceeds into a detailed profession of love, where he even describes her as his, quote, personal sunset. Moments after the stabbing at 4:57 p.m., Clenny made a 911 call and could be heard apologizing to the boyfriend, even as she pleaded with the operator saying, "My boyfriend is dying of a stab wound." During the call, the boyfriend could be heard in the background crying out that he couldn't feel his arm. When the police arrived at the scene, they found her holding the bleeding boyfriend in her arms. There was blood everywhere, on the kitchen island, in the master bedroom, the bathroom, and the back of the living room. As they attended to Obumseli, she was ordered to sit out on the balcony where she began kissing her dogs. She was later questioned for about 4 hours at the local police station, got admitted to a psychiatric ward, but then was released just 2 days later. The release was due to the view that Clenny claimed it was self-defense. In a weird twist of events, just after killing Obumseli, Clenny made wire transfers totaling $1.15 million to her father's bank account. They argued that the money was enough to move out of the country and that her job didn't tie her down to a specific location. It's worth noting that Clenny had made a lot of money through her OnlyFans career at that point. In 2021, she made $1.8 million. Just a year earlier, in 2020, she made $966,692. And in 2022, before shutting down her account, she had made $327,221. Such income explains why they lived in a very luxurious address and a 22nd floor with 3 bedrooms and a great view of Biscayne Bay. After her release, she fled Miami to be closer with her family, and on June 17, 2022, 2 months after Obumseli's death, she bought a 3,080 square foot, $1.3 million luxurious home with a pool and hot tub in Lake Point, Texas, near her parents. Countering the murder claim, her lawyers argued that she did act in self-defense after Obumseli had grabbed her by the throat, but a judge said that claim was incredible. The lawyers also stated that just a day earlier, he had stalked and beat her. This was revealed in released police body cam footage after the officers had responded to a domestic strife involving the couple. Clenny was once again arrested arrested on August 10th, 2022, where she had gone for substance abuse. The arrest was after more evidence had been collected by Obumseli's lawyer. Also, it's almost like Obumseli knew things were going to take a turn for the worst, because he left behind a lot of evidence that was used against Clenny. A series of phone recordings from Obumseli were presented to the court as proof of Clenny's deeply toxic behavior. The clips include her yelling racial slurs, screaming, demeaning, and cursing him out. In one of the recordings, she's heard telling him, "Man up, bitch," and "Shut up and let me slap you, dumbass." I don't know why I said it so, aggressive. The reason? Well, he apparently didn't tell her that he said hello to a female acquaintance while on a bicycle ride. She even commands him, "Find my fucking phone and charge it." Larry Hanfield, Obumseli's family attorney, said he found the recordings as evidence of someone who is, quote, unhinged and out of control. Further evidence that she was the aggressor is a video of the couple from February 21st, 2022, in their apartment's elevator where she is seen attacking him and trying to pull his hair. Also, in an exchange over the phone, Clenny once told Obumseli, "I actually literally fucking want to kill you," which is, not gonna look too great in court. Clenny now faces second-degree murder for the crime and is awaiting trial in 2023. Abigail White. This case focuses on Abigail White, aka Fake Barbie, aka Mitzi Lewis, a British OnlyFans model who, following a really toxic relationship and a painful breakup, stabbed and killed her boyfriend, Bradley Lewis, on March 25th, 2021. Before we look into the highly contrasting upbringings of these two lovers, let's dive straight into what happened on that specific day that Bradley died. Earlier in the day, Abigail and Bradley met in a public park, with the meeting having been summoned by Bradley, who had resolved that he no longer wanted to be with Abigail. He informed her of the decision and she was enraged. She clearly didn't take kindly to the news. However, despite the breakup, moments after 5 p.m., the couple, together with Abigail's friends, were captured by a surveillance camera going into the Horseshoe Pub and then proceeding to the beer garden area. As they began partying, Abigail started acting weird. She was angry, short-tempered, and caused problems with other customers. This was probably the influence of mixing a line of coke and alcohol, and also the pain of the decision that Bradley made earlier at the park. You know, she got broken up with. And Bradley wasn't doing so well himself. A man found him crying in the men's bathroom, claiming that he was scared of Abigail and didn't know what to do. And he also thought that if he left, she would take her own life. I'm guessing she had a history of claiming to do that. It was clearly a messy situation, and the evening, already riddled with chaos, got even worse. Abigail got into a fight with one of the customers. She slapped him and he slapped her back, causing her to fall. She then walked back to Bradley, took his drink from him, and threw it in his face because he didn't defend her. She also spat in the face of a friend who told her to stop bullying Bradley. Maybe tired of the chaos, they all wanted to go home, and so at around 7:50 p.m., Alfie, a mutual friend of the couple, gave them a ride. They argued all the way back, and on arrival, as Abigail stormed into the house, Bradley, who had hung back for a bit, said to Alfie, "I'm dead when I get home." Barely 20 minutes after Alfie departed at 8:10 p.m., emergency services got called by a neighbor, Mrs. Kundi. Mrs. Kundi had already responded to a scream from Abigail, and on entering the house, she had found Bradley lying on the kitchen floor with blood covering the hallway and living room. A knife was also on the radiator. Abigail claimed that Bradley had stabbed himself after a heated argument, a story that police didn't believe. Unfortunately, Bradley was pronounced dead at 1:30 a.m. The knife had penetrated his heart. Alright, now let's go back to their childhood backstories. Bradley was a gentle soul all the way from childhood. He grew up in a loving home, with his childhood football manager saying he was one of the nicest kids you could ever meet. And on the other hand, Abigail grew up in an unstable home. While aged just 4 years, her parents split up due to domestic violence. Even worse, her stepdad, who came into her life thereafter, was physically abusive towards her, so she ended up in foster care. All along, she had behavioral problems in school, and due to mental and emotional instability, she got prescribed antidepressants at just 13 years old. Abigail's path ended up with her doing OnlyFans, where, despite a good start, making £60,000 in the first year, her popularity dwindled, leading to an income of about £12,000 a year later. She, however, managed to survive by relying on Bradley's income. The two had been an item for a while, since they dated from back when Bradley was just 16 years old. They even had 3 children together. However, their relationship, which Abigail termed very rough and controlling, was mostly turbulent with allegations of cheating. This is well evident given they had a 4th child that wasn't Bradley's. Following the death, Abigail pleaded guilty to manslaughter. She refused to take full responsibility despite the amount of evidence against her. Phone records, for instance, revealed that she had sent hundreds of threatening messages to Bradley. One message from February 7th, 2021 read, "I swear to God, I will stab you." There was also a damning voice recording where Abigail told a friend that Bradley could only tell the truth when she, quote, beat the fucking daylights out of him.
Obviously, I have no limit when I get angry, and obviously he said that I need help with that, because people are generally saying to me, one of you are going to end up dead, and I fully believe that I'm quite capable of killing him if he hurts me again, or I'm going to end up being in prison. But I don't believe a word that comes out of that boy's mouth. I have to beat the living daylights are out of him for him to tell me the truth, and he still don't tell me the truth. He only tells me the truth when he thinks I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, when she's saying if he hurts me again, maybe she's speaking like emotional wise, like if he emotionally hurts her. But yeah, if somebody keep threatening to kill you, it's probably a sign that you need to get away from them. Just saying. But
like when I get a knife out, like when I stab him, like, oh, I just don't get this kid.
Equally disturbing evidence is that just about a week before the fatal stabbing on March 19, 2021, Abigail had stabbed him in the arm, causing a massive wound. Bradley had covered for her, lying to the doctor, saying that he had an accident at work. So, where did the case end up? Well, in 2022, Abigail got sentenced to life in prison, which means that she'll be jailed for at least 18 years before being eligible for parole. Jeannie Exum. So the two cases we just talked about have something in common. That being that they stabbed someone to death. And I don't know why that's I don't want to say popular, but kind of popular way that OnlyFans criminals have killed people. I don't know. I really don't know how else to say it, but this is another one.
The way he's
saying it in a strangely familiar fashion to the other two. Our aggressor, Jeannie Exum, an Instagram and OnlyFans model based in Manhattan, stabbed her boyfriend, Francis Amor, following a domestic dispute. The incident occurred on Monday, October 18th, 2021 at around 6:45 p.m. at their luxurious apartment. They lived at 10th Avenue, Hudson Yards, Midtown, in New York City. The couple had been in a heated argument before Exum took a knife and stabbed Amor. At the time, Exum was 22, while Amor was 30 years old. After being stabbed, Amor staggered into the apartment's lobby, where a doorman noticed him and made a 911 call. Both the NYPD and EMS responded to the call, arriving at the location shortly after. He was taken to the NYC Health and Hospital Bellevue and remained in stable condition. Exum had stabbed them both in the arm and the back, and luckily, Amor, who went by the name Bo Baby Boy Pajules, suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Following the incident, Exum appeared in the New York criminal court, where she was charged with a Class D felony, assault with the intent to cause physical injury along with a weapon. Interestingly, she didn't even seem fazed by the incident, since she even took a photo where she was smirking next to an NYPD detective. She posted it on her stories and captioned it, "They took my phone, y'all. I'm on the trap right now. And now they don't stop me and I get locked up." She said Akon's Locked Up as the Instagram music thing for the story. In an equally carefree fashion, while leaving the courthouse, she had told a reporter, "Subscribe to my OnlyFans." But such behavior is no surprise, as it's consistent with her social media personality. On OnlyFans, for instance, she describes herself as a, quote, free spirit from Alabama with a loud mouth and dirty mind. The free spirit ideology is probably why she was so popular both on Instagram and OnlyFans. On OnlyFans, she had been charging $20 per subscription, but she put a 50% sale to thousands of her fans. On Instagram, where she often posted lewd photos of herself, she had 35,000 followers and gained 10,000 more following the stabbing incident. How lewd were the photos? Well, just a month before the incident, she had garnered a lot of followers after posting a photo where she flashed her breasts in front of an NYPD car with the caption this. Her following has grown significantly in the last 2 years, as she currently has over 293,000 Instagram followers and about 641,000 likes on her over 1,600 posts on OnlyFans. Exum, while not having a criminal record at the time, was however not new to violent behavior. In October 2018, while living with her cousin in Phoenix, Alabama, in a fight over money, she hit her with a liquor bottle on the head, knocking her to the ground. Her cousin, Marlo, never pressed charges despite suffering facial bruises, cuts on the arms, a ripped nail, and a death threat. So, did Exum get sentenced for her boyfriend's stabbing? Well, just like her cousin, her boyfriend ended up dropping the charges against her. She was in jail for just a night. Later, in an interview with Barstool Sports, she said that in hindsight, the situation was more serious than she had thought, and she learned her lesson.
Girl!
Titus Low. Alright, y'all, remember when I said I wanted to name the video OnlyFans models instead of OnlyFans girls? We actually have a guy on this list. Yeah, we are going to differentiate. OnlyFans girls just sounds better as a title. That's it. Alright, moving on from the stabbing stories, this next one is a great example of why being aware of your country's laws, however absurd they may be, can save you jail time. The story is about one of Singapore's most successful OnlyFans creators with over 210,000 social media followers, Titus Low. Now, despite the large following, the well-known influencer was quoted saying that he had been struggling with money in the period leading up to 2021. He had thus decided to join OnlyFans in order to improve his earnings. He signed up for the platform around April 2021 and began posting content. His content did well since between April and October 2021, he made $240,979 from his 1,900 subscribers. This success, however, lasted until October 2021, when a person reported to the police that they found a video of Low performing a sex act on their 12-year-old niece's phone. Immediately, the police responded, confiscated his phone, iPad, and the details of his OnlyFans account. I think it's worth noting that he didn't send any videos to any minors. The video just ended up being found on the girl's phone. I don't know how she got it. On October 11th, he was warned to not access his account anymore or they would press criminal charges against him. He defied this order on October 12th, and so the police returned to his house on November 2nd, 2021, and took away his spare phone and the OnlyFans account details again. The investigation went on, but Lowe still accessed his account and posted more content. On December 29th, 2021, he was told to present himself to the police station and was arrested and locked up. Recalling the arrest, he said, "I felt very scared, and the way they treated me. It was like I had done something very bad." At one point, he also told the BBC, "Whenever I read BBC now, I just think of better black community. Shout out Kendrick Curry. Videos are fucking hilarious." Anyway, he told the BBC, "In my case, it's a consensual thing between adults, so I didn't think there was..."
Because even there's a British network or something called BBC, and I'm just like, why would y'all name it that?
Any problem. Despite believing that there was no problem, he got charged with transmitting obscene materials and failing to comply with the order restricting him from accessing his account. Transmitting obscene materials carries an up to 3-month jail term, while the second offense carries up to 6 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. Singapore's penal code clearly states that it's illegal to transmit any obscene material electronically, as well as to receive or take part in profits generated from the transmission of such material. It's safe to say that Lowe had ticked off the police because, despite the October 11th warning, he had used his secondary email to log back into the OnlyFans account. So while the investigations were going on, he posted 8 more obscene photos and videos and withdrew a large amount of money from the platform via a friend's bank account. The police noticed that they couldn't log into his OnlyFans account, and that's why they returned to his house on November 2nd. He still went on to access the account a second time by getting help from the OnlyFans support desk, and again, in defiance of the police order, posted 34 more obscene photos and videos. On October 22nd, 2022, he got fined $3,000 for transmitting obscene content and was sentenced to 3 weeks in jail for defying the police orders. He served his time, and on November 9th, made a TikTok video announcing his release and return to freedom. He outlined his plan to focus on his firstborn and also to return to OnlyFans, but without the illegal bits. In the video, he said that prison wasn't the best experience. His firstborn arrived in March 2023, and in a classic content creator fashion, he's been entertaining his fans with his new fatherhood role. It's full of wholesome content. For instance, in one of his TikTok videos, he's seen trying his wife's breast milk for his cereal. Yes, that wholesome family channel content. Going forward, we hope that he learned his lesson on running an explicit OnlyFans account in Singapore. And I mean, you could always leave Singapore and just go to another country.
Exactly.
Selena Powell. Some people get in trouble taking clout, and clout is a good way to stay relevant. One such person is Selena Powell, a Miami-based OnlyFans model who has built herself a reputation as a, quote, black widow for making claims about her alleged sexual escapades with rappers. There's a lot to talk about with her criminal past, but let's just start with the most recent one. In 2021, Powell was arrested and charged with habitually driving on a suspended license. The arrest was made on Monday, March 8th, 2021 in Miami after she was caught making a right turn without using the blinker. The police were actually willing to let her go with a warning, but then they proceeded to arrest her after discovering she was driving with a suspended license. She was taken to jail, and in a classic I don't care fashion, the next day, on Tuesday morning, she tweeted, "I went to jail again, LMFAO." Her license had been previously revoked in Colorado. Why was it revoked, you may ask? Well, unsurprisingly, it was because she had been a traffic offender in that state. Traffic violations aside, a year earlier, in May of 2020, she'd been involved in an altercation with Tory Lanez over claims that she had messaged him on Instagram and made fun of his hairline. As bizarre as that sounds, it led to a police incident report after Powell claimed that Lanez, together with his rumored girlfriend, Kaylin Garcia, had accosted her at the Miami condos where they all stayed and caused her physical harm. It's also very evident that controversy is in her nature, given that before the Tory Lanez incident, she had made several false claims against other individuals for clout. Among her most controversial stories was when, in May 2018, she appeared on DG Academic Stream and confessed that she lied about being pregnant with Offset's child for a whole 9 months. In the interview, she said, "Once again, there's no baby. Get over it. Suck my dick." She also lied about being paid $50,000 by Offset to get an abortion. Powell has also been arrested many times before. On December 29, 2018, for instance, she got arrested for different crimes after bounty hunters caught up with her at a hookah lounge in Colorado. The crimes included shoplifting, evading the police, and traffic infractions. She had outstanding bonds worth of $61,000. Also, in June 2022, she was arrested for violating probation terms. She had been mandated alcohol and drug tests by the court after a 2015 arrest, where she was a getaway driver in a theft. Surprisingly, though, she got released in July of 2022. She was, however, arrested again on May 1st, 2022 for skipping a court date, among other violations, and got sentenced to 2 years in prison. Her court documents show that she was eligible for parole on March 24th, 2023. And now, let's head on to an interview with an OnlyFans model. Like I said in the intro, she is part of the 3.2% of OnlyFans. She has 400,000 followers on Twitter, and she's actually a subscriber to the channel. I found her on Twitter, she would just reply to my tweets, and I figured, wait, I'm making a video on this. This would actually be a really cool interview. But yeah, make sure to support her. Her ad's gonna be in the interview, and I really got nothing else to say. Let's head over to that interview.
No.
Hey guys, so here we are at...
It says she's talking about doxing, harassment, and stalking, so I'm guessing she's talking about the dangers of OnlyFans or something. I don't know. Y'all can go check out his original video, though. Link in the description if you want to see that. But yeah, these people are definitely crazy. They are not right in the head. But to be fair, if you're gonna date an OnlyFans girl who is busting it open online, you should be aware that something's off with her. You know, something ain't right upstairs. And this is no shade. It's just a fact that if you are willing to spread your labia to thousands and thousands of people for money, just something ain't right. The normal, typical person is just not gonna want to do that. You know, if they're right in the head. And this is not to shame sex workers. I get that. You know, sometimes you feel like you got to do what you got to do, but there's just so many other options out there. Like, I don't know. I personally would literally, like, exercise every option imaginable before I ever thought of like, getting naked and, you know, having sex on the internet. Like, I would, or in real life, having sex for money. You know, like, I just can't really wrap my head around that, especially when we're in the age of the internet. Like, you can literally figure out how to do anything. You can learn coding. You can learn how to fix fucking cars. You can literally, obviously they're not going to be fixing cars. That's just an example. You can figure out how to literally do anything that can substantially change your life and make you money. But people who choose to go that route, it's just like, some ain't right upstairs, and lo and behold, they out here stabbing niggas. So just saying, be careful. Just be careful out there. Be careful with, you know, who you decide to date. But yeah, that's wild. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you're watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.